So, hi everyone who is looking into us and listening to this Voice Inside video interview. I'm Martina, a partner from RISE that works within communications activities that we have within the Voice project. And here today I have Margherita, one of our partners here at Voice, and I think she will best describe herself and what her role is within Voice. So, Margherita, welcome today and thank you. And please tell us your background and what you do within Voice.
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Margherita. I work for Waag Futurelab, and I'm an artist myself. And within Voice, with Waag, I cover two roles. Together with other consortium partner, I shape the implementation of the ATSI scheme, but I'm also a lead mentor, meaning that I have the pleasure to have bi-weekly meeting with the artists, with the voice artists, some of the voice artists. And what it means is that I support and guide them in their process. The mentoring covers several aspects, from conceptual support to very practical support. I can go through material research, finding location, connecting with other partners.
Yeah, I think it's really safe to say that you have like a really diverse background, but also what you're doing currently. And I feel like that's a similar thing that I see with a lot of artists, right? That you're like in diverse settings. Today, we choose the topic of art and sensorial effects, and you had some of the work as well there within the topic. So your work emphasizes this tactile perception and how this works within different communities and so on. So how would you say that this focus influences your artistic approach? Like, how do you kind of work within it? And how do you see that this kind of shapes the experience also of the audience that you're aiming to have within your artistic interventions?
Yes, so my work as an artist is very much rooted into research and often stem from collaboration with either scientists or communities or others. And what often happens is that this more conceptual or abstract research concept and researchers get translated into tangible artifacts that could have different shape or forms, and puts a lot of focus on tactility, because I believe that touch creates this immediate and quite visual connection between the audience and the material, but also then the story and the concept that I'm trying to narrate. And it also helps make, this idea tangible and sensorial, but also therefore evoke both an intellectual as well as instinctive response to the topic that I'm tackling, and the audience is somehow able to navigate through it with a more embodied experience.
I think at least for me, from the perspective of the audience, you kind of forget how many senses do you actually have in a given moment. And I think it's really valuable to kind of focus on a particular one within an intervention. Since you work within this intersection of art and well-being, what would you say how your installations and sculptures and interventions that you're doing kind of contribute to the whole, let's say, enhancement of well-being? And how would you say that sensory experiences play in this context?
I use tactility to, and this inviting shape, so to say, to sparks curiosity, but also to evoke a more, this visual reaction but it gives a sense of empathy towards the topic that I research. And when we talk about well-being in general, maybe it makes sense to talk about what I'm researching currently. So over the past few years, my research has focused on the connection between the health of the soil and the health of the human gut, so to say. So I'm pretty much studying the microbial life, which is at the core of the research, and it's a pretty it's still understudied and mysterious topic that Therefore, we can speculate a lot on that. And the entry point of this research is my personal allergy to almost all fruit and vegetables. So there is a connection to healthcare, but there is also a connection to the health of other environments and other ecosystems and other beings. And within this context, therefore, my art practice is pretty much, it's highly research-based. And I do believe that this sensory experience can play a crucial role in my work because people are allowed to go beyond what they see. So touch, as you were saying, but also smell and even taste, in some cases, become this pathway to a more, I don't know, profound understanding and a bigger involvement from the audience. For example, with projects that are centered on fermentation or microbial life, as I was saying, participants are encouraged to feel, but also smell and even taste sometimes.
Okay. Do you want to add? Sorry.
No, that's it.
Okay. So, I feel like maybe some examples on how what you did could be very valuable to somebody who is listening. So, could you maybe give us a couple of examples of what of your work and also maybe how it impacted the whole, let's say, experience or the individuals that were, participating in these interventions?
Yes. So at the moment, I can think about different activities that I developed in my latest research residency in Scotland, where we literally brought soil to the monthly town market and invited people to play with soil, use soil for like their skincare routine, etc., etc. So we had a soil spa day in the main square of the market, and we used that as a starting point to start conversations and have different exchanges of ideas. And you have all kind of people. You have from like the farmers, normal people, consumers, and that was very impactful. And then you really bring this tactile, sensorial and feelings in a everyday activity such as going to the market. So that is a very like community-based experiential activity from the past year. So it goes from activities like such as this one to the creation also of artifact like glass vessels that resemble stomachs, where food is fermenting inside, and people are allowed to interact with these different shaped containers, smell what is going on inside. To also fermentation of soil, creating this vinogradski column, which are these this is made into artifacts, but the bottom line is that is glass containers with soil and a few nutrients inside that changes shapes, texture, and smells as well over time. The more it ferments and the more microbial families become visible through colors and textures within the containers. So yeah, there are different ways to do it. Those are a few examples.
Amazing. This all sounds really, really interesting. I like the way that you're kind of maybe changing also the first perception that we have of soil. You know, it's not maybe the first thing that you mentioned with, health or maybe skincare or anything like that. So that sounds really, really interesting. Based on this, what would you say would be not maybe a best advice, but some of the advice that you could give to someone that also wants to have this interaction with their audience and encourage them to kind of work within these artistic interventions, but also maybe add elements or focus on this sensorial affects as well?
Yes, first of all, have fun. Don't be afraid to experiment. Also collaborate with others. Don't do things alone in silos. When there is this form of mutual contamination between different fields of knowledge, that's when the magic happens. And when you change protocols, you break down walls, and yeah, you create something new, so to say. And from the point of view of working with, well, the sensorial aspect, that's a bit of a more tricky question because the sensorial experience is very subjective. So what feels very pleasurable for someone might feel quite unsettling for someone else. So in my work, I do start by understanding what is the story that I want to tell and selecting the elements that belong to the story that help me narrate that story. It could be material, a texture, a sound, or a smell, a taste even, and what type of elements and ingredients belong to the narrative, and then shape the experience with those ingredients. But then in the end, ultimately, everybody's going to engage with them in their own way. So you will always have a different outcome and also different perception from the audience, which makes it, I mean, for me at least, it makes it very exciting.
Absolutely. And maybe sometimes the audience interacts with it in a way that you maybe didn't expect to or didn't even think of. So I do see the excitement definitely behind it. What would you say maybe where somebody who is interested in sensorial effects or artistic interventions within this field, where would they go or search or anything like that for examples or to learn more or similar?
I mean, well, there are, that's a good question. Again, it's pretty subjective. I believe there are several artists working in this field, for instance, Olafur. Um, yeah, that's a good question. Where to go?
Yeah, but I think also you maybe kind of answered that already to like kind of have fun and explore because I guess all of this, let's say, parts that we also have in voice are not really something that you can maybe pick up a book and read about it. It's a combination of different skill sets and different, perceptions and different approaches as well. So I think definitely voice also showcases this, let's say.
No, for sure. And it also really depends what type of artist or interest person you are, because I am a nerd. I read a lot. So I could suggest or recommend a long list of books that talk about this subject, but I also know other artists that prefer to go visit exhibitions and get inspired by the work of other artists. So yeah, again, it depends. Yeah, what do you need in your toolbox and what type of person you are? But
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Do
that's
you
a
do you
lot.
maybe have a favorite resource or something or a book? If you mentioned books, so something that really maybe inspired your work.
Yes, I think I have it here. Yeah, I have many, but the one that is laying around here is The Body Keeps the Score from yeah, Bessel van de Kolk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I remember also when I started up years ago, I was devouring all the books from Oliver Sacks. The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat, for example. There is so much out there that spans from fiction to yeah, and I also read a lot of academic or scientific papers. So there, if you go on Scholar, you can start a search and get lost in it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's enough. enough.
Okay, perfect. Okay, you can get lost in the black hole of research. That's
Yeah,
that's that's more than
basically.
fine. Definitely, that's more than fine. But yeah, I think it's great to get inspired, especially for the topic that you really love. So I think it's important to maybe if it's not fun for you or like super that it gets you super involved and maybe switch it around a bit. So I agree with you on that. Okay, do you have any last comments or anything that you would like to add on the topic or from your perspective as an artist or something?
And no, I think, well, what I also always say when I'm teaching or so on is to have fun, to really be playful, enjoy the process, and also don't be afraid to experiment, especially when it comes working with materials or like really creating artifacts. Um, yeah, experimentation. It's like cooking almost. Then you have to try to make the cake many times before it comes out the way you want it.
Perfect. Perfect. Cannot agree more. Thank you very much, Margarita, for today's talk. I invite you all to follow us on our social media accounts on LinkedIn and Instagram, and also check out our website from time to time. We have constant updates, and I guess experiment and have fun as well in your art and everyday life, basically. And see you in the next Voice Insight.
Thank you.
Thank you.